Hey, g'day guys, it's Adam from VideoShowMeHow, and in this video we are installing a DIY air compressor, how-to, all the things. We're installing air into the Canopy build on the D-Max. We've got a couple of bits and pieces that we're going to be doing to plumb this thing permanently and access it via our switch over there on our ridiculous 12-volt setup. So without further ado, let's get started. So if you haven't been following the Canopy install on the back of the D-Max, we've done a whole bunch of stuff, and there's been a bunch of videos so far. We've got water in this side. You'll see that video on the channel where we've got a couple of different pumps plumbed in and all sorts of good stuff. We've got our 12-volt in, we've got our fridge, we've got our drawers, we've got lighting. We had all plans to be installing the big boy from Tough Terrain. This is their quad compressor version. We did a bit of a shootout with this thing. I'll link it in the video description down below, and it is a beast, and it is of course super fast with 4 pistons. The intent was that I'd get that in here, or actually in the other side, that we'll have a look at in a sec, but it's too big. It's actually too big to fit these. If you had a wider one, it would probably be fine. So we are still going to be using our compact air hose reel, like it says here, but the self-retracting version. So I was checking one of these out a little while ago, and these things are great. They are nice and small, and that gives us 7 meters of braided line. That will be plenty to get from our side cubby to all 4 tires, but then also on our off-road caravan that you're going to be seeing a bit more on the channel. So that'll be enough for us to get down to pump those guys up as well. So that guy's going to live in there as well, in there, but the same thing on that side. And we're going to revert to Old Faithful. This is the TGM under vehicle mount compressor. This is their heavy duty unit. I've been using this for a few years actually. You can see it actually in that shootout for that guy, and it wasn't too bad. It still goes pretty hard. So this is the one we're going to be using. I have tested it and it does fit. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading over this side. We're going to be installing everything in here. So the fun fact with these drawers, like you've seen for the full build when we're putting all this together, is they probably aren't that deep, but they're super deep, wide. Maybe they're not so wide, but they are super deep. They go back a fair way. So we're going to be able to hide our air compressor a fair way up the end here and give plenty of space for that hose reel to go here. We can pull out a hose here and self-retract. I am going to be turning this thing into Bluetooth in a second video. So part 2 of this will show that. But for the moment, we've got to get this thing up and going. We've been on a couple of trips, and without hard pressed air or hard permanently installed air, it is a pain in the butt. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So I'm going to get started over there. We're going to get all that over here and start sorting out where everything is going to go. As far as wiring goes, we've kind of got half of that done, because how I'm going to be turning this guy on is via the existing setup. So if you've been following along on the channel as far as the 240 setup, we're fully complete there with the DC-DC, the new alternator, all the bits and pieces. So I'll link those videos in the description down below. But over the side here, we already have our switch paneling all set up, and I already have this guy that is set up for air. Now at the moment, that is triggering a relay that lives over this side in our Sanhema little switch panel. It's currently got nothing wired to it, but ultimately all I need to do is, with our wiring loom for the compressor, it has its own relay. The trigger wire for that, which is this guy, that needs to basically get wired up into the Canopy over to our relay for this, so that when I press that, it triggers that relay, which then sends the juices down to the compressor and turns it on. So that's I'm gonna have to do a bit of wire routing into the Canopy through our grommets on that side. And then this side here, this little plug, this is the actual compressor power. Now I'm going to be running this off the lithium battery on that side there as well. So same story, I'm going to have to run some girthy cable up into the Canopy so that this guy down here gets all the power it needs when we turn it on. I think we've found the best configuration, and that is I can there's a bit of a lip going on here, so it's not perfect, but it is definitely going to work. So I'm going to stuff it right there, the compressor hanging out in the back, and then at a bit of an angle I can still easily pull out the hose and retract without it sort of rubbing on anything or what have you. And then if it'll live about there. That gives me this huge void right here, plenty of space for an additional hose in case I need to extend it, or, you know, the chucks and bits and pieces. So I've already kind of marked it up underneath here so that I can see exactly sort of the angle of the plate, because I'm going to have it sort of clocked facing outways a little bit, just for a little bit easier for the hose. So I'll have to have that plate off separately so that I can get all the bolt holes in exactly the right spot. It's going to be good fun drilling in there. I may even have to drop this whole box. We'll see. It might actually make it a lot easier. We'll see. But then essentially have those holes ready to go and prep so that I can then from the top get my hand in underneath, drop those screws into place and then do them up. Okay, so it is the next day and I've been having a bit of a play off camera just to get this right, and I've learned a couple of things. So the first thing was I tidied up all the wiring, and that is all tickety-boo like I was saying there before. So there's our little grommet in there. If we flick around here, I'll be able to show you. You can see, unfortunately I didn't have any more stainless ones, so I've got one of the other ones there. This is this guy here, IP68. So that is all sweet, and that runs just wiring up along here. Haven't conduited anything, it's just sort of sitting there temporary at the moment, but it is wired fully into the canopy, which comes in through some of our others just here, conduiting of course, and then in through to the other side to our 12-volt DC hub, which is activated off here. So wiring all done, and I have been testing this guy out. So the first thing I noticed is in here, when I had it stuffed down the back there, the thing was louder than a Tay-Tay concert. I'm not an expert on sound, but it seemed to turn all of this into a bit of a drum where the outer skin here, which is no longer doing it, because it would resonate like crazy. Anywhere these bigger panels just seem to make things so much louder. So in the efforts of trying to make this thing, I mean, it's an air compressor, so it's never gonna be quiet, but in making that thing as quiet as I can, I have skinned the whole inside with some of this stuff, if I can hang on to it. This is sound-deadener. This is that bituminous, really, really dense stick-on stuff. So you just peel it off and it sticks to absolutely anything. So I've gone ahead and skinned the whole inside. I had a bunch of that left over from a previous project. Can be had for super cheap online or at any of your auto stores, so check it out. But after testing it, I've done the roof, I've done the sides, I've done all the things. After testing it, it has made a significant difference to that resonance, where I'm only getting the standard air compressor sound from this thing now, as opposed to air compressor sound plus resonance from the interior of the box. So that seems to be sold. Pretty happy with how that's panned out. The second thing was how to bolt the thing down, and when I was testing it, I only could get 2 of the 4 holes in the inside of the cabinet. So I thought I'll use some riv nuts. So I've basically just screwed the or drilled the holes for where I want them, and then sat some riv nuts and bolted those riv nuts in. There's heaps of videos on riv nuts on the channel. If you want to know more about those, just jump on the YouTube channel and look up riv nuts. But yeah, these are a great little thing, and what it does is gives me on the base, gives me some mounting points that I can not have to hold the bolt in, being that that was absolutely impossible to get my hands down the side. And now it gives me basically the bolts that are mounted directly. So I've tested that before, thank God it all fits, so that's awesome. And as far as directionally as well, I was putting some thinking in that, got some good comments from you guys there as well, and the plan is going to be to actually mount it around this way, in that direction, just like that. And a couple of reasons for that. One, this is what gets stinking hot, and that is the actual compressor component itself. Air inlet here, it's going to be, I'm going to obviously be running the door open when it's running, so no issues there, but air inlet there, this end here gets really, really hot, and particularly the actual compressor piston top itself. So I really don't want our rubber hose anywhere near that, or any of our wiring. And you can see that our wiring and our hose outlet that we've set up is on this end. So that's our plan. We're going to have it in that orientation down the end there. And here we go, sit rep, we are almost there. I'm pretty stoked with how this has turned out. I have everything bolted down, so you can see just in there we have some stainless hardware there. Up underneath here as well, I am going to need to patch my test holes here. Make sure you measure 3,000 times, not like me, and cut 3,000 holes. So, but anyway, we'll seal all those up, no worries at all. I've gone to town and conduited up all of our wiring, so it's nice up out of the way, but then out of anything that is hot as well. So the back here is a-okay. That's where fan is blowing that way, like we said before. Got our relay up out of the way just in case there's a bit of the H2O that ends up in here, and then this guy is in place there as well. So let's give this a test. This is the whole point. What should happen is we can pull it out like that. Easily enough room here to reach the front here, all 4 corners of the D-Max, but then also the little off-road caravan that will normally live there will have plenty of length here to do that as well. The other cool thing though is when you're done, we can just do that. We can reel it in. Definitely be able to crank up that tensioner, get a bit more of the retractor mode happening there. Make sure it guides in there nice and easily, and there we go. Oh, that's awesome. So stoked with that. But anyway, enough jibber jabber. I'm gonna get all of my mess all cleaned up. I'll come back to you and we'll give this a full-blown test. Alrighty, we are all buttoned up here. We've got everything all nice and tidied, which is great. I've Loctited the living daylights out of all these bolts so they go nowhere. So there's only one other thing to do, and that is to give this a test. We have our 12-volt setup here, like you've seen from all the other videos. I've tidied up everything on the other side, so we're all back in place. This button over here, we can turn the air compressor on and off straight from here. We can also do it from our phone. This thing has a Bluetooth app that you can operate it independently as well, so I could turn it off or on anywhere in Bluetooth range of the car, which is great. We can see our load coming there as well, so you can see for this particular compressor we're using probably about the 400 watt mark, so that all runs directly off our big lithium system here. And like you just heard, the compressor turned on. We've lost a lot of the resonance. It's not the quietest thing in the world, but you know, it's a compressor. So from there we now have the ability to pull out our hose directly from the side, which is great. We just need to get our end piece and can click on there just like that. And there we go, compressor will kick on as soon as we use some of the air, which is awesome. So if we were gonna pump up some tires, it would just be, well, you know the drill, right? It's just pulling off. Just got these little sensors to give me some live readouts in the D-Max and on the Caravan. Video coming on that's very shortly actually. And then it's just to press on, you know the drill. Pump it up just like that. Looks like I've got low battery, need to fix that. But yeah, once it reaches our temp, compressor will kick off just like that. And we put our cap back on, or in this case, the sensor, and we are off to the races. I'm gonna have a crack right now of putting all of this guy back into there using our new ratchet. We'll see how we go. Something like that gets us a little bit tighter in there, and we can squish this guy in the corner there as well. So there we go. We can have an extra, I think that's 5 meters. This is 7, so that gives us a grand total of 12 meters worth of hose, which should be plenty. So pretty stoked that we can have all of that chunked in there, all nice out of the way, so that we have onboard air in the D-Max. Well, that is it for this particular video, the full install of the onboard air in the back of the D-Max and the new setup with the Canopy. Pretty stoked with how that turned out. Let me know what you think, and if you've installed something similar in your Canopy, what compressor did you use? Did you have any problems? Have you used one of these Retractor hose reels before? Interested in your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the full playlist of the full fit out of the Canopy. It is really coming along now. We've got a couple of videos to go, so check out that playlist if you haven't already. Of course, check out the VideoShowMeHow.com website and go to discount codes, where you'll see discount codes for Outback equipment for most of the gear that I've used here, but then a whole bunch of other stuff and other discount codes on there as well. So other than that, guys, as always, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.